Hi, this is Amy Lewis with PopUpTechTalks. I'm here with Stu. Stu, can you introduce yourself?
Thanks, Amy. I'm Stu Miniman. I'm a senior analyst with Wikibon and host of theCUBE.
Excellent. So welcome to our humble little pop-up studio.
It's great to be here. I was on once a couple of years ago at OpenStack Summit, but Docker. I mean, DockerCon's pretty awesome.
Yeah, so what do you think of this? How many DockerCons have you been to? What are some of the trends? What's the change you're seeing?
So I had the pleasure and honor of being at the first DockerCon back in 2014 in San Francisco, the one that Ben said there were like 500 people there, but we only told the fire marshals 400. So this is my third one. I went to the one in San Francisco. Last year I had a conflict, so I didn't get to go to Seattle, but back here with the 5,500 people. So pretty amazing, good community, a lot of people I know starting to show up, and the containers are cooking, it's hot.
Well, I was going to say, you've been interviewing all sorts of people for your show. What are you hearing? What are some of the trends?
Yeah, so it's interesting. Where are we with the maturation? Things are definitely going into production. The solutions are maturing, and it reminds me of, Amy, you and I go back to some of the virtualization environment stuff that like, oh, hey, I can do this easily like on my laptop. Of course, it was a desktop back when we did virtualization, but it's growing. It goes, helps me with really my application development. That portability gets thrown around every once in a while, but if I want to do it in the cloud, if I want to do it on premises, there's a lot of flexibility out there, and containers are here to stay, and pervasive across a lot of environments.
All right, so get out your crystal ball. What do you think is coming next?
Oh wow! So it was interesting. I had Brian Gracely on the Cube, which of course Brian had been on the Cube lots, and then he was part of the Cube for a while, and now he's back on the vendor side. But this really is part of that piece that takes the next level as to how do we really change applications, and like the whole serverless functions as a service fits into that. But right, it's just that atomicity, if that's the word properly, of how we build things. So in my lifetime it was like, oh wait, I used to have this big box, and then I switched it to a VM, and then I switched it to a container. But it's not about the infrastructure, it's about how I build the application, use the application. We need to stop having those horrible applications that are 10 years old that everybody hates. I talk to people in every vertical, and it's like, yeah, I've got that thing that we've been using for too long. And it's like, well, we need to be able to increase the speed, and therefore this is something that hopefully breaks us from the boat anchor that was my infrastructure. So we still need infrastructure, there still needs to be gear underneath it, but it should be that distributed architecture of the wonderful Nirvana and goats flying through the environment.
Well, of course we're in Texas, so we have to have tacos, and over lunch we were talking about it was once a browser world, and the browser wars have ended, and it's the application wars. And I like what you're saying in terms of how are you building your applications. Now people are becoming pickier about that.
Wait, Amy, I just heard tacos, right? Did you have some good queso to go with that? Because we're in Austin, it's all about the barbecue and where you're getting brisket or the tacos. But yeah, no, absolutely. It's, that application is really kind of been the long pole in the tent. It's making that change is really tough. And a big discussion we've had here at the show is, I've got some of the new things that I'm building, but then I've got all my other, dare we say, legacy applications, and we need to move those along. It's not a bimodal world. We need to be able to have kind of the platforms and infrastructure that helps move us forward, and then have the things that we change along the way. So, there's the wrapping it, replatforming it, reshifting it. There's a lot to pass to get us towards that eventual nirvana until we have the next thing that comes along and helps things go even faster.
I look forward to it. Until next time.
All right. Thanks so much, Amy.
Thank you, and we'll see you next time on PopUpTechTalks.